So to get started on any project, the best thing to do is look through what you have, evaluate all the components you have, and figure out what goes where. You can see lined up here that we've got front fender braces, a cross tube for the front of the chassis. We've got the radiator stay supports. We've got the steering box. Back there we've got the rear springs. Looks like we have the complete front suspension laid here on the ground. Over here we have the firewall, front bulkhead with a lot of components still bolted to it. And over there you can see that we managed to get the engine upright in its normal position. Doesn't seem to be any intake manifold or carburetors, but we've located them in another box. We've got the drive shaft over there. Way back in the bin over there we've got what appears to be the dash, although the tach and the speedometer are missing. Just outside there we can see the gas tank and the hood propped up against the door there. This section of the car here is what's known as the tub. A lot of wood involved there, and we're going to have a good look at that. We have also at the back there we have the complete rear axle assembly, and we do have the transmission. So we've got most of this thing, and we're just going to have to sit down, and all the sheet metal is off in storage. We do have fenders and doors, and the cowl piece, and front valence. So we have the radiator. What we're going to do first, now that we've had all these parts laid out, is start cleaning parts. It's never any fun to work on something that's filthy dirty, so the best thing to do is start cleaning, stripping paint, getting things down to bare metal, so everything is clean and tidy and easy to work with. We'll start with the frame. There's not a lot of grease and gunk on this frame, so that's a good thing, but we're going to have to get pretty aggressive with the wire wheel and get the paint stripped off of it, and then probably use some chassis black on it. You could send it out, have it sandblasted, have it powder coated. Certainly that's an option. If you're building a showpiece or you know, a first-class car, maybe that's something you want to consider. But here in the backyard we try to do things backyard version. So what we're trying to do is have a nice looking running and driving car when we're done, and we'll see how that turns out. Well, it's the end of another day here in the backyard, and even though it looks like we jumped way ahead on this project, we haven't really. We've just taken and bolted as many things, or put as many things in place as we could figure out, so we could see what we had and what we didn't have. Really a little hard to know what you don't have when you're just looking at a pile on the ground. So we've kind of mocked things up here and got a pretty good idea of what might be missing on this project and what we're going to have to get, and then we'll go ahead and blow this all back apart and start the cleaning process and back to the chassis and everything from the frame up. But here's where we are after the end of the day today, and at least it looks like something. So we drug out some of the bits and pieces and found this side rail that runs underneath the body section. There's one on the left and one on the right. Thing's kind of rusty, so we're going to take our grinder and grind all the scaly rust off it, and we'll treat it with some rust reformer and some black paint, and be ready to use again. You gotta love these COVID masks. They're good for keeping the dirt and debris out of your face when you're grinding too. Now that we've got all the scale knocked off of this, we'll spray it with some rust reformer. You don't have to get all the rust off, you just have to knock the loose stuff off. There's a number of these on the market, different brands. I like this one because it sprays black and dries black. Some of them spray clear, and you hope they dry black. So you let the rust reformer dry overnight, and then you can prime it and put a coat of paint on it, whatever color you like. In this case, we chose shiny black. So now we have our main body frame rails cleaned and painted and ready to go. What we'll do is get them set up on a jig and start building the body off of these two frame rails.